Hey everybody. Hello my loves. Welcome everyone. Welcome. I'm so surprised. I don't know because of this eclipse energy what's going on in everyone's life right now and today. So if you're just stopping through, hello and welcome. If you're going to stay for the full presentation, welcome. Hey guys. Okay. So how is everybody feeling on this total super full blood total lunar eclipse, everybody? How's everybody feeling? Everyone's going to be feeling a little bit different because this is happening in different areas of our lives. However, one thing will be certain is that no matter what, we're going to have to incorporate the balance between, all these different things happening and being pulled in different directions. The balance is going to be epically important. Going with the flow, Al's going with the flow, keeping my happy. Oh, lovely. Wonderful to hear. A little lethargic. That's okay. That's probably the Neptunian Piscean energy. So I like what Al said about going with the flow and especially keep my happy. This is in Sagittarius, which is a sign of buoyancy and happiness. So it's going to be easier to keep your happy. Thanks, Al. It's going to be easier for you to be optimistic. It's going to be easier to see the bright side of things. It's going to be easier to think bigger. It's going to be easier to outgrow anything that's been keeping you small. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and jump right into this, you guys. We're starting. This is live stream, so welcome to the replay if you're watching this in the replay. Okay, I'm separating this into four different parts. Okay, first I want to start about a recap. The December 14th, 2020 recap. That is the total solar eclipse that we had in the sign of Gemini. So what's going on right now is a culmination of these moments, of these energies that you began. You began this cycle of learning December 14th, 2020. You can just take the whole month of December. And, what have you learned since then? How do you feel about this area of life, Gemini area of life, and the Sagittarius area of life? Because this was when we still had Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter in Capricorn. So all of 2020 was like this big, car crash of a year for everyone. So this was a really rocky kind of a big start. You could have even been feeling that some things were just going to change. Like you could have had that sense of fate and destiny in that month of December 2020, because that's when we had the grand conjunction, the great conjunction in Aquarius. And so this was happening still like when Saturn was, Saturn was at the 29th degree, 29 degrees and 44 minutes, 9 seconds of Capricorn. So this is definitely what you're completing now is not just the past 6 months. It's not just, it's a longer cycle than that. But what we had, and I have my little paper that I wrote up in December 2020, what I have here, what is no longer your truth, time to realign, releasing in order to make space, aligning to the highest vibrations, intentions appropriately flexible. Let's see, release and let go of ideologies and belief systems and people and situations in our lives that no longer serve us. So this was just the beginning. I mean, we're in this ongoing eclipse family. So it's like every eclipse season, there's this new level, this new big burst of invigorating energy to help along this way. So, and I love that I have this Mercury combust here, burning dry leaves of your mind and confusion. Like, I love that. I love looking back at my notes and stuff. So again, what I have written down here, what you initiate over the next few months will still misinformation. There will still be, and that's still even here at this total lunar eclipse today, May 26th, is that we don't have all the information. We don't have every single little detail figured out completely. If everything fits perfectly and we understand everything consciously, there's still missing pieces and missing details. But at this lunar eclipse, you have a lot of faith to carry you through that. Okay, so even at the beginning of this cycle, missing info, but also expect to not have total control over the outcome or the steps. It might not look like what you want it to look like, but it will be exactly what you need. And then I even have written down May 26th culmination point. So you started something. This was either something that you started consciously or subconsciously that is culminating now, and you're going to be getting over these next 2 weeks, you're going to be getting the fruits of it. You're going to be getting the biggest signs of it. So this week specifically, Wednesday to Wednesday, you will see the themes of what will be dispersing over the next 6 months until the next eclipse season. So just really quick, hold on. I wrote so much. I'm guys, every area of my life, I'm just like writer girl. Okay, really quick. Aries, releasing beliefs that are overly self-righteous, dogmatic. Okay, that's not really helping you in your life's relationships. How have you felt since then in being able to release these ideologies? Taurus, letting go of situations and circumstances that had a psychological hold on you. That's what you were trying to start in December. How far have you come? Gemini, all relationship dynamics. Your behavior in relationships, choosing partners, other people's behaviors, and what you're accepting. Remember, we teach people how to treat us. How far have you come since December 2020? Cancer, routines and rituals that are out of alignment with not just your integrity, but it's like bad habits, bad health habits in your mind and your spirit and for your physical body. How far have you come? You're probably doing a lot of like physical healing energy. And guys, I get way into this in the Patreon extended that I do when I go over there. Look, I wrote all of these pages front and back for all the 12 signs for this lunar eclipse. So what I'm reading you is just like a little sizzle, a little, some little mashed potatoes on the side. So, okay, Leos, this is pretty cool for Leos because you guys have this happening in a place that is all about your heart. So how far have you come in opening your heart, not just in love relationships romantically, but also with children, with your creative passions and hobbies. If you're in like a relationship right now, or if it just started this month of May leading up to May 26th, it may be a fling, but even if it's a fling, it'll be a passionate fling that like serves a purpose. So just go with the flow. Virgos, this is interesting, Virgo. So there's karmic family situations that you've got to work out in order for you to reach for your destiny and your true place in the world. What was hard for you in December 2020 and how far have you come since then? Okay. Libras, this is another huge karmic transition in your beliefs, your mind, your educational pursuits. Messages over the next 6 months, over the past 6 months have been coming in to help you let go of outdated, belief systems that just don't work for you, that don't suit you. Scorpios, value systems, finances, money, your resources, your value systems, and other people's resources, other people's value systems. How far have you come since December 2020 in being able to kind of balance this all out? Sagittarius, this is your total lunar eclipse. Welcome. This is like every single area of your life, Saggies. This is like over the past 6 months since December, your birthday, you've had a huge fresh start. You've had this total like movie makeover where you were able to just like come out of an old crusty skin and just have like glistening new, lubricated skin that's like you are newly rebuilt from the ground up, Sagittarius. So how far have you come since December 2020? And this could be physically, like you could have physically changed yourself in some huge way. It could be your vitality. It could be like every area of life, but specifically you at that kernel level, okay? And anything that's not in your integrity of who you are, falling away. So what's fallen away and what has gotten really strong and strengthened since December 2020? Capricorns, my brothers and sisters. Okay, this is a big one for Capricorn because it's your 12th house. This is karmic clutter, subconscious garbage, family karma that you have been trying to let go. I know personally December was freaking huge for me with that. So, I mean, Capricorns, you guys are special for a couple different reasons. You are the homes of these big cycles, these big transits, like once in 800 years, 500 years cycles with Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter, the capstone of 2020 that defined so much of 2020 is because of you, is because of Capricorn energy. So with this letting go and the karmic everything, how far have you come since December 2020 with that? This is like bringing you guys from December till now. This is all taking you to the future, okay? Okay, Aquarius. This, for you, Aquarius, is a karmic reset, the past 6 months, transitions and endings in your friendships, in your associations, in your contacts, in your, you're reaching, you know, how has your idea of friendship, your idea of community, your idea of your allies, who's going to support your destiny, your career, where you really want to go in life, whatever that is, who's there to support you, who dropped the ball. You'll be clear over the next week, 2 weeks of the karmic fated connections that you feel like this is it, this is my person, or you meet someone and you're like, oh my God, I feel something, like we're going to be friends for a long time, or you know, the friendships that exist in your life right now, it will be very clear to you. So how far have you come since December 2020 in figuring out your real allies and your real support systems? Okay. Pisces. Okay, Pisces is pretty cool too. Pisces, you're letting go of karmic baggage that's like totally out of alignment with the legacy that you're leaving behind. The people in your neighborhood, how they know you, your family, how your family knows you, of course, work and career, how they know you. You're doing this thing between work and family and the home life. And so you're going to be putting your focus over here, but then you're going to be coming back over here. And I'll get into, oh, Mondo. Speaking of the Pisces, oh, thank you, Mondo. And I love the little purple heart. Thanks. Thank you. Okay, so that's a little bit of a recap to get you guys like thinking about that time, because, yeah, December 2020 was a big deal, that epic great conjunction in Aquarius. And now we have Jupiter in Pisces. So just to give you a little bit of, you know, reflection here, the recap. About the recap. Okay, the next part I want to talk about is going back a little bit further and going back through this bigger cycle. Okay, this eclipse cycles last about like 18 years. So this eclipse cycle really began, let's see, it began November 2001. And it went to May 2002. So about the spring of 2002, you want to think of what was going on. Maybe something that you can like get right away, or if you need to go through your emails, your photos, your text messages, and see what was going on in your life, feel free to do that. That's when the nodes were flipped, where we actually had the North Node in Sagittarius and the South Node in Gemini. And then what this is going to speak to right now, I want to talk about March 2011 to August 2012. This is when we last had these eclipses, where the North Node's in Gemini and the South Node's in Sagittarius. So they flipped. So you can go back to the very beginning, November 2001 to May 2002. And then sooner than that, where the energy will feel the most resonant is, what did I say? March 2011 to August 2012. I looked back at my personal history and it's hilarious. It's very Sagittarius and very Gemini. So for me, during that time, I went back March 2011 to August 2012. A couple of different things stood out for me. Number one is I joined social media. That's when I got on social media, and that is so Geminian. I mean, talk about like spreading information and messages. I wasn't using it like I'm using it now, but I started it. I got that beginning. And the other thing is that I went to Germany for the first time, which was a huge deal for me. I had been studying and learning the language. And so, I mean, I spoke German when I got to Germany, but I went there. It was this huge, you know, I went alone by myself. And so it was like an added adventure. And it was just really, it was very Sagittarius. It was very Sagittarian. Oh, Patricia, thank you. Oh, you're so sweet, you guys. Thank you. Oh, I love you guys. You're so, all of your good energy and even just like the thoughts. Thank you. Thank you for that. You know, it was just so opened me up. It just opened my perspectives, and just visually looking at things that were just so different and exotic. And I mean, Berlin and Germany, I went to different places, but it's like, I know it's not like super exotic, but for me at that time, it was like, oh my God. So yeah, those are just two very simple examples of what that was for me. And so I would recommend that you guys go back to March 2011 to August 2012 and see what was going on, because it's not going to be the exact same thing. It's going to be the themes. It's going to be what was happening with you on an energetic level. So, you know, it may not be, you know, the same exact people, the same exact situation, but it's going to be something that has the same effect, except you've grown so much since then. So the effect is going to be happening with you when you're on a newer, higher level of frequency. Okay. Okay. So, okay, now we're going to get to this actual eclipse. So I just wanted to give you guys a really full context with which to work. So the past month, the month of May, you've been focusing on staying busy in the Geminian part of your life, in the Geminian area. You've had a lot of details, a lot of writings, a lot of, oh, Sarah started blogging and left my teaching job, exact same themes. That's totally it. That's so Sagittarius. It's so Gemini. Oh, that's so funny, Sarah. Yeah, there was like, that's like that's a perfect, that's another perfect example, Sarah. That's perfect. Thank you. So you've been pouring over something, you know, at work or in whatever area of life this is for you. You've been pouring over these details and being really busy, having a lot of, and probably more than one different things and projects and people and situations and conversations that you've been tending to and working on. This eclipse in Sagittarius is pulling your attention and focusing it to the Sagittarius area of your life, so that you pay attention to what is ending, to what you are releasing, or what is culminating now. Okay, it's going to switch back, but right now, over this next, week or two, it's going to be, your focus is going to be pulled to deal with this Sagittarius thing. Okay, so if you are ending and releasing, it's to fill you with hope and optimism, and it replaces stagnant, stuck ideological energy. Okay, because we're at different levels of maturation. We're at different levels of growth. And so that's why I say this all the time, but you guys know I say we would rather understand than judge. And this is why we're learning different lessons at different times, in different cycles and different timelines. So some it's going to be over the past 6 months, we didn't get the lesson. We didn't learn it. And so something's going to slam into us like a freaking car crash and make us learn it over these last 2 weeks. And even if not, we'll get it in December. We'll get it at the end of 2021. So there will be that crowd. And then there will be the crowd that you guys have been, watching the live stream in 2020, December 2020, and you got all this information already. So you already knew how to work it, and you already knew what to focus on over the next 6 months to bring you to the culmination point now, which is my service to you, which is why we're here, which is why we, have fun like this. So for us, this crowd here, the culminating, if you're culminating, it'll be, a little bit of both, most likely be a little bit of both. Culminating, you can reach even higher because you've been actively, consciously engaging the change energy. This is mutable energy. This is energy that should be easier to adapt and grow and change and like go with the flow. Okay. Let's see, what did I say here? Oh yeah. So it could be a little bit of both. You'll have 6 months to solidify this growth. This week will show the themes that are important. So like I said, the eclipses are a 6-month energy. They get super active like that week. And it's like, what's going on, what's happening, but it's a 6-month effect. So we have time to really learn and integrate and culminate and release, let go, all of that kind of stuff. Okay. It's part of a bigger cycle. It's part of a bigger cycle. Okay. Now I do want to say, it is part of a bigger cycle that is, It reaches beyond 2011, 2012, 2001, 2002. It's multiple lifetimes. And think of it that way, that the energy that you're working with now is something that's been built up from this lifetime, this incarnation, as well as past lifetimes. So you're at a moment in history that has never supported your growth and expansion and healing more than right now ever before, because of the conscious awareness, because you can consciously like observe your own thought. But you have computers and tablets and cell phones with internet, and you can go to libraries for free, you can go to gyms to shower, you can take public transit. Like there's services that you can order on the phone or through whatever. Like there's so many things that you can use and tools that you can use that we have not had before, to heal the ancestral karma, to heal something that you brought with you from multiple lifetimes. Or think about it, in the past lifetimes when you were just a villager or a farmer and you had all this karma to work out with your family, you didn't know any better, so you just went on suffering and feeling hard feelings, and you died. Like you were born, you lived your life, and then you died. You had the experience of it. That was it. That was it. You incurred new karma, hopefully positive karma. You incurred karmic debt, probably both. And then you died, and then you did your thing, and you came back into the next incarnational cycle, so on and so forth. That's why it's such a special time while I have you, like right now, that you can have the consciousness of that. So the healing that you're doing, you're getting like triple, quadruple brownie points is what I'm trying to say. So inarticulately. Getting multiple brownie points. So if it feels hard, if it feels like I don't want to let this go, if it feels very painful, just give yourself some compassion and understand that, no, my issue with my parent or my sibling or my spouse, this issue, like I remember you from like 4 lifetimes ago when you did that to me. And that's why I feel so strongly about this. So just know that, just give yourself a little break, a little pat on the back, because it's big. It's a big deal. And you're incarnated here in 2021 for a reason. Okay. I didn't mean to go on that digression, but there we go. Okay. So the eclipse, the lunar eclipse, is always when the moon is opposite the sun. That's always a full moon. The eclipse is with the nodes of the moon. Okay. So what's happening is they are both making an aspect, having a relationship between two sources of energy to the planet Jupiter. That's why I put up on the Instagram that really the condensed version of Jupiter's story, how Jupiter was the only, this is why Sagittariuses are lucky, is Jupiter was the only one to escape being eaten by Father Saturn. Saturn ate the rest of the babies because he didn't want any of them to overthrow him. And when you act from fear, you just make it all come true. And that's exactly what happened. Saturn acted from fear and started eating the babies, and one got away. Jupiter's mom saved him. And that was the one that was destined to overthrow him. So he just manifested that fear. Whereas if he just like was a good dad and his kids loved him, maybe, okay, things would have been different. Anyway, it's not what happened. Jupiter grew up to overthrow Saturn and imprison Saturn with the Titans, and rescued his siblings, got Saturn to regurgitate them. And they all joined together and got the job done. And then they divided the universe, with Jupiter getting the heavens, Pluto getting the underworld, and Neptune getting the sea. So it was fair. It was fair and equitable. That's how Jupiter became the king of the gods. So this is, I just got this transmission today about it, with the sun being the solar father figure, the masculine principle, the logos, the mind, the ideology, the manifestation happening in the 5D, in the invisible realm, like when the sperm gets into the, what's that called? Implants into the egg. That happens invisibly. We don't see that happening. And the moon in Sagittarius being the feminine principle of physical manifestation, where the physical where the manifestation happens on the physical plane and you see birth, like you see that happen, right? Okay. And so there's this connection they both have, the nurturing and the ideology, the masculinity, the encouragement, all of that wrapped up together with Jupiter, pointing to Jupiter in the sign of Pisces. And I'm planning this video coming out about the androgyny of the planets and the symbolism and how we can incorporate that for a healthier, better life. Okay. Don't care about what anyone else is doing. Don't care about what anyone else is saying. This is your health. This is your life force that needs to be adequately nurtured. And you can't do that if you're holding on to belief systems and ideologies that are poisonous and toxic and subliminal, subconscious mind programming. I talked about that on my vlog, on my Instagram stories is my vlog. So I talked about that yesterday, how if you think to yourself, I'm going to have a great day today, that's a conscious thought because you chose that thought. If you try to say, I'm going to have a great day today, but then this thought just comes in like, you're going to have a shit day. Something's going to happen to you. You're going to fall. You're going to fall on your face. You're going to break your watch, whatever it is. That's a subconscious thought because you received it. You did not choose that thought. So that's how subconscious that's how subconscious subliminal programming works. So all of the ads, all of the whatever, all that unhealthy, toxic stuff from societies, from religions, from dogmas, from doctrines, from families, what your family tells you, all those sound bites like, oh, you know, if you're walking by and someone pinches your arm, like, oh, what's that? What's that? You know, or like those little things that just seep into your subconscious are what come back out to program you and keep you that way. Because that's what happens. That's part of how grooming works, is that it works beyond the influence of that person. So we all are groomed in childhood. We all groom people in our relationships right now. We teach people how to treat us. So what grooming are you allowing into your subconscious mind? And what do you want to reprogram? Because you can do that at this time. This is really powerful. I have something else that's really cooking. It's actually a ritual, an energetic, psychic ritual. I don't know if you want to call it a spell. That sounds pretty intense, but it's energy work that that helps use this eclipse energy to actually, in a big blast, purge out all of that subconscious decluttering, which is a perfect manifestation of this for me because I'm a Capricorn. So this is all happening in my 12th house anyway. So it's pretty perfect that that's coming through transmission wise for me. Anyway, like I'm trying to talk about Jupiter here. Jupiter is the apex planet of this T-square. So it's like there's this opposition, which is already pretty tense, and they're both squaring Jupiter. So all the pressure comes down onto Jupe, baby Jupe, and newly in Pisces. And Jupiter's only going to stay in Pisces until like the end of July. So it's a real quick dip and dip out. And then Jupiter's going to go back into Aquarius, and that's when the crypto is going up. Okay, so while we have Jupiter in Pisces, it's extremely strong for spirituality, for everything Jupiterian for Sagittarius. So this mental rewiring of our perspectives and attitudes are spiritualized, okay? Belief, oh, where's my wand? This turned out to be like... Guys, I'm so excited because tomorrow, Practical Magic, we're going to do wand work where we're going to be feeling it and it's going to be amazing. Anyway, okay. Wand work, metal work. What else are we doing? We're doing colors and clothing. We're doing a lot tomorrow. So anyway, that's over on the Patreon as well. Belief and faith is huge in supporting your growth now, okay? Both spiritual and physical abundance is indicated. There will be a catalyst. There will be a reason you will be engaging spiritual energy. So you may be having freedom forced upon you. And so, okay, like getting broken up with, you lose your job. There's something like, oh my God, I'm losing something, but it's actually freedom. You're actually getting free of something. You'll feel wobbly. You know, your security will be shaken and you'll be praying and manifesting. Feeling sort of shaky and wobbly is going to send you into using the spiritual energy of this because everything's changing. Or if you're insecure and you're doubting your beliefs, you're going to go into that spiritual energy. Or a lesson you learned leaned into, a lesson you're trying to learn, a lesson you're leaning into willingly over the past 6 months, trying hard to learn, trying to heal, trying to overcome, and it's just been difficult, may finally culminate in a breakthrough. So this is kind of what I was hoping for you guys, is like orienting you in 2020 to be like, okay, this is like the themes, that's why I'm telling my Capricorn brothers and sisters, like, yeah, this is going to be psychological. We want to like really try. If you just try and don't worry about pressures and don't worry about expectations and don't worry about the timing, if you just focus on trying and applying yourself and letting everything else take care of itself, then you get an opening, like a portal like this, which between the two eclipses, May 26th and June 10th, there's an energetic portal opening. I want you guys to walk right on through it. This is when the breakthrough comes in. This is like when I started learning German. I was like, oh my God, I'm really learning German. Like my German teacher, she's like one of my best friends now. I was like, wow, you're serious. Like you're seriously going to teach me this language. And I just remember the freaking cases, because Germans and other people have, 4 different words for the, whereas English, we just have the. The gender and the case doesn't change because of what the object is. It's just the. So German, I remember I'm like, I'm never going to get this, and then one day you just have a breakthrough and there's nothing that's different. You don't do anything differently. You just keep trying. But all of a sudden, one day you just have a breakthrough. And for some reason, it's like you throw against the wall and then the wall disappears and you just like, you're floating and you just go right on through. That's what this can be for you. And you're being healed. I forgot to say that part. You're being healed with this energy. You're having a breakthrough and you're being healed with this Jupiterian, Jupiter and Pisces energy. You heal and you absolve karma once and for all. That's eclipse energy. Once and for all. You don't go back. You don't open that door again. That's why it's lovely for Capricorns, because it's this karma, this subconscious garbage, is clutter. Once it's gone forever. It's gone for good, once and for all. It's these lessons you take with you that they change you on a cellular level, on an energetic level, that you don't regress, you don't go back on. Okay? It just happens in different layers because we can only grow so much. We're like, we can't handle everything all at once. Okay? Okay. So the backdrop of this eclipse, that's the big spotlight, is the T-square to Jupiter. And there's benefits. There's spiritual benefits, mental benefits, healing benefits. Okay. And depending on where it is in your chart, there may be other benefits as well. The backdrop is the sun trining Saturn in Aquarius. So whatever you have been working on the past few weeks, it can come together really nicely over the next couple of weeks, and it can solidify for the long term. So this also applies in a larger scale. So you can deal with the Sagittarius part right now. So if you've been focusing on the career, if you're Virgo rising, and you've been focusing on the career, trying to do something there, and a crisis happens at home, a crisis happens in the family, someone needs your attention, a partner could need your attention, a spouse needs your attention, you can deal with this crisis because that work situation is being solidified. It's coming together. So you go with the flow now, okay? And you won't lose the work you've been putting in, because we'll also have the Gemini solar eclipse June 10th. And that's a whole brand new beginning. Like that kicks off a 6-month effect, where this is a closing energy. We're wrapping up over the next 6 months of this eclipse energy, the Sagittarius eclipse energy. This is so new moon in Taurus. So I actually wrote down lyrics over where I usually write my stuff. So I just taped a piece of paper over it, and now it's like, okay. So both the positive internal spiritual changes, the mental changes, and the mundane physical changes will take root strongly with that Saturn aspect, okay? We also have the sun trining Pluto in Capricorn, retrograde. More power and support for you to be able to see and perceive what holds you back, to see that shadow that's crystallize into bad habits, gossip, narrow-mindedness, judgments, and fears. You'll be able to see that about yourself. You can see it in your life. You can see the traps now. You can see them in your life and also in yourself. Sorry, I just said that. They're obstacles. They're obstacles taking you off of your path and testing your will to truly align. Because it's easy to go low. It's easy to just revert into whatever, into the human lowly expressions. But you're aligning and you're going to see these things and you're going to have to make a choice. Like, I'm not going to do what's hard, but better for me, or I am. Okay, so like that's going to also come to the surface of how you've been the past 6 months. Okay. We also have the moon trining Chiron in Aries. So there's healing, there's letting Chiron in Aries. Oh my God. There's healing, there's letting go of very specifically, the thoughts, perspectives, beliefs, and ideologies that have been keeping you from beginning anything meaningful to you, going after what you really want, having confidence in your own individual and unique skills, talents, and abilities to create the life that you want. So this is a surge of optimism where you will feel so much better and so much more healed in regards to what you may not have had any confidence in being able to do before, or being able to start for yourself, or being able to individuate us outside of your family, or individuate outside of what your family wants to see you as, or your friends, or your job, your career, how they want you to stay in one little section and you want to go start a new division of something else, or however this is working for you. This is healing that insecurity, that part of you that just doesn't feel confident. And it's going to make you feel like, no, like I can do this and I should do this because this is where my passion is. And this is what I want. If it brings me joy, it's got to be right. And if it's not, I'm going to have the experience I need to have to orient me to what is right, to what is correct. Okay. But you have this Jupiter energy, which is the ruler of this eclipse. So you really do want to follow your intuition. Okay. And then we have this Pluto opposite Mars energy. This is interesting because both Mars in Cancer and Pluto retrograding in Capricorn are both trining something. So Pluto is trining the sun and Mars is trining Neptune. So there's an outer planet and a main inner planet involved in positive energy flow, and they're in opposition. So what I'm getting with this is that they're both being empowered by trines. The planetary forces are integrating harmoniously. This opposition is fierce. So I was kind of concerned about it, and highly spiritualized. However, what's needed is a balance between what you know, what's being unearthed, and what you're realizing, because this is all about information. These eclipses are all about information, knowledge, and beliefs, and everything. With your spiritual and emotional processing, because that's big in this energy too, the spiritual and emotional processing, and your physical body, which is channeling both the physical and metaphysical energies of your progress and breakthroughs. So that's a lot. That's a lot what I'm getting with this, that particular opposition. In the backdrop of all of this, that's part of it, is that you have to balance all of that out. So take as much time as you need. If you need to eat more, sleep more, definitely hydrate, drink a lot of water, and help you move the energy and process the energetic information that you're getting. Okay, and then with the ongoing Saturn squaring Uranus, which is going to happen again in June, expect big structural changes. Like, you're moving across the country, you're getting a new job, you're getting a new career, you're leveling up in your career, you are meeting the love of your life, you're getting married, you're having a baby, you're getting pregnant, you're falling in love, you're all of that stuff. Okay, those kind of changes, big changes. And then last but not least, we have Venus in Gemini trining Saturn in Aquarius. So I wanted to end with something real sweet, real happy. If you've been doing what you enjoy these past few weeks, just talking about May, past few weeks of May, maybe like the middle of May, like the middle of May, the last 2/3 of May, I would say, since the Taurus new moon. If you've been doing what you enjoyed the past few weeks, that will be part of what stays and solidifies. It'll be joyous. It'll be lovely. It'll be something you like. It'll be something you enjoy. Okay? Okay, guys. I'm going to leave that there. That's my presentation. It was a lot. I condensed a lot of it, so feel free to have a replay. And I'm going to go ahead over to the Patreon. If you want to join me, the link is down there below. It's the nice tier, and I'm going to get into what all of this means for all 12 zodiac signs, and we pull tarot as well. So if you're interested, feel free to join us over there. Otherwise, my loves, many beautiful blessings upon all of your beautiful heads, darlings. Mwah.